In today's video, I'm going to give you a ton of pitching games that you can use at your next youth baseball practice to help your pitchers get more reps and work independently and have a ton of fun and learn real game skills that they can use the next time you guys have a doubleheader on the weekend. These pitching games are going to keep kids engaged, getting better, and really excited about pitching. So if you're new here, I'm Dan Blewett. I'm a former pro pitcher, and I am the author of my newest book, The Art of the Mound Visit. So if you're a youth baseball coach and you're not sure what to say when you go out for a mound visit, my new book dives into all the ways you can help your pitchers get through their struggles in a game, right the ship, course correct, and get back to throwing strikes, competing, and having a great time on the baseball field. All right, so my first pitching game is just a best out of 10 using a target. So if you look down range, you'll see that I set up just a Trader Joe's grocery bag as my target. I used a carabiner and clipped it to the fence, and I put a plate right in front of it. This is a really easy way to do this, where now kids can get their reps. And a grocery bag of that dimensions is actually shockingly well suited to be the strike zone. It's like pretty much the perfect width and height, and it makes a nice satisfying sound as the ball hits that tarp. I've already broken this one, as you can see. I had some softballs in it, but it's a great, easy target to use. And so give your kids either best out of 5 or best out of 10, and they can challenge each other. It's great to put them in pairs, like 2 kids, 3 kids, and they can compete to see who gets the best out of every 5 or the best out of every 10. So that's a really easy way to set up a target and get kids pitching. All right, the next pitching game is called the distance game. And this is gonna have 3 different distances, which I've set up 3 different baseballs. And I'm gonna do 2 or 3 pitches from the closest distance. Then I'm gonna do 2 or 3 pitches from the next furthest distance. And then I'm gonna back up and do 2 or 3 pitches from the furthest distance. Then after that, I'm gonna go back to the next closest and then closer still. And I'm gonna keep going back and moving to the next distance every 2 or 3 pitches. And what this is gonna do is teach kids how to make adjustments, because that little extra distance, they're gonna have to adjust their trajectory in subtle ways. And so this is gonna help them become resilient strike throwers in games. So there you have it. That's the distance pitching game. You're gonna go from the short rubber to the middle rubber to the long rubber, back to the middle rubber, back to the short, and you'll keep cycling them through until they're done their prescribed amount of pitches. All right, so this next pitching game is called the Armslot clock game. And you're gonna ask your players to start at their normal arm slot, and then they're gonna go every number on the clock down until they've reached their bottom, which is probably either 5 or 6. No one's gonna be able to throw an actual 6, but they get as low as they want, like submarine. And then they're gonna climb back up from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to whatever their normal arm slot is. Maybe their arm slot is 3 normally, that's fine. They'll climb above that as well. So we'll basically go from 1 to like 5. You know, they can think about being 6 like being submarine. Now, why would we do this? Because I know as a youth coach, you're probably like, my kids' arm slots are all over the place. Why would I want to do something like this where it's encouraging them to throw from all these different arm slots? This is teaching them to be resilient, to learn to feel the differences and still get the ball in the strike zone. This is something that so many of us grew up in the backyard. I was playing backyard baseball with my buddies, and I was imitating different pitchers, doing different stuff, and learning to still get the ball in the strike zone. That's body awareness, it's body control, it's athleticism. If your pitchers are gonna, make adjustments in the 5th inning when they're tired and the mound has a really deep hole in it and they're sliding around, they feel uncomfortable, this stuff is gonna make them better, able to resist those tough mound conditions and still make adjustments and get the ball in the strike zone. So this is a really fun game. I think they'll enjoy it, and they'll go, okay, well, that was really high up and away. Let me figure out how to make an adjustment. This is gonna pay dividends with your infielders as well. All these kids, if they learn to be resilient, be athletic, and to feel for different arm slots, it's gonna pay off in games. Target practice. I've rigged up a fun little thing here. I've got a Costco bucket. I've got an old Amazon box that I wedged into the bucket. And then I've got 2 empty cold brew coffee containers that I've sat on top. And basically this is my little carnival game, right? Kids are gonna love this. This is how I grew up as a kid, just throwing rocks at things out in the woods, setting up targets in my backyard. But making these little target games is a really big treat for pitchers, and it gets them locked in and focused on doing the job of hitting the target that they want to hit. All right, so this next pitching game for youth pitchers is the weird delivery game. And I want you to tell your pitchers, I want you to pick a different delivery every single time you throw the baseball. So their first one could be, Greg Maddux. Their second one, they could be imitating, Walter Johnson. They can pick any delivery they want, but they have to make it weird. Different leg kick, different arm swing, anything they want. Let me go through a couple of my favorites and I'll make some up. So my first one, my childhood idol, Greg Maddux. Reliever legend, Fernando Rodney. I'm gonna tilt my cap sideways. He just had this slide. Next, we'll go old school. I'll just kind of make this one up. Look at that, throwing strikes like Bob Feller. Next I'll go Bronson Arroyo from the Reds. And then here's a random one. I'll do Jason Mott, former closer for the Cardinals. He was a converted catcher and did a double tap. It was really interesting. I think he had a little half leg kick. It's really fun. This connects kids with baseball. I think they'll really enjoy this one. And it helps them develop body awareness to figure out how to throw strikes with different pitchers' mechanics. All right, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, check out the links in the description below. You'll also find my online courses, which I have a beginner pitching course, an advanced pitching course. All these will help walk you through stuff you can do with your teams to get pitchers better, whether they're brand new to the game and you're brand new, or if they're much more advanced and they need the really nuanced stuff to keep getting better. You'll find all that in the description below, along with my brand new book, The Art of the Mound Visit. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.